But my beats, they are hard.
Okay, hey, good evening, family. I don't know why it didn't automatically come back in, but anyway, good evening, everybody. Welcome to another episode of the BCSN SportsWrap alongside A.D. Drew. I'm Bryan Fulford here on another beautiful Sunday evening. We are three Sundays away, Drew, from actually being able to talk about football that we saw on Saturday. How you feeling about that?
18 days from kickoff of our first game.
Are we really 18 days away?
18 days from kickoff from our from Thursday night action.
I feel so unprepared for many reasons, but I just do. I feel unprepared.
You unprepared, bruh. I
How
got
are
over,
you looking?
Don't forget, I got not only Morehouse stuff that I've got to get out, but I have BX swag that I have to get out also.
I'm gonna say a prayer. I don't know how you doing it all, but
Next 21 days, it's going to be a lot of long 14, 16, 18-hour days.
mm, 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 mm. Hey, did you notice that Google Chrome did some updates?
I
Have you
have
noticed?
actually I did not even use Google today.
Okay, what do you usually use?
No, I have not been on the internet today to use Google.
Oh,
I did all my show stuff yesterday, my show prep, so really have not had to go on Google today. And the couple of websites that I have been on, the tabs are already open on my computer, so I have not actually done a Google search today.
okay. Well, maybe some of you guys in the chat. Hello to everybody in the chat, by the way. Thanks for getting in early and being there. Emmett Jones, Blue Jacket for life. Walter Harley. He must have got excited and saw that we were talking about Division II today. So, but he always represents the Livingstone College Blue Bears. Shout out to Livingstone. One of my former students actually runs track at Livingstone. A young man from out of Orlando. His father is our high school football coach, and he loves the HBCU experience, Walter. So he loves Livingstone. I thought he was going to transfer, but it sounds like he's in. He pledged recently up there, so he's all in. So shout out to Livingstone. Just want to let you know. But shout out to Mary 305. What's that?
You mind sharing what he pledged? Because I'm pretty sure
he pledged. I think he pledged Alpha. Yeah, Alpha was in his family. His mother's an AKA, and I think he has an uncle. He has some uncles who are out. His father's not a member, but he's got some other family. So yeah, that's what he pledged. I didn't even know that. He just happened. We were just talking back in the spring when he came home, and he was talking about it. But he loves Livingstone, so I just wanted to share that with Walter. Mary 305. Thanks for being a JBN subscriber. Yeah, Mary, I don't know if you saw my message. She pointed out her daughter was part of the Be Out Day in Atlanta, and all I just saw was a mass of people, and she was pointing. She was like, "Yeah, my daughter is the." I was like, "Mary, who? Where? I don't see it. All I see is a mass of people." I was like, "What's the time? What's the time stamp? What's she wearing? A little more specifically." So, I don't know if you saw my message, Mary, but
You know, mamas and daddies can always pick out their kids.
yeah, yeah, exactly. I wish I would be. I'm telling you what, that was a great girl. I think I'm gonna have to talk to the O&G guys, and maybe if we get our budgets right for next year, maybe we'll do a show live from the ATL Be Out Day. But it looked swole. That's all I'm gonna say. So yeah, it looked really swole. So shout out to a few other people I see in there. Karen Griffin joining us. Cedric Walker checking in. Good to see you. Thanks for checking in. Let's see. Uh, oh, okay. Is that what it is, Edwin? My petty bag is full. Come on now. My petty bag stays on the shoulder, Edwin. So it's always ready. Sly, the sports guy, checking in. Good to see you, Sly. Let's
You wear
see.
your fatty bag like a fanny pack.
Exactly. It's hold on. I gotta get a picture made up of me with a one of those little fanny packs, and it just said the bag just says
Hey,
petty bag. My petty bag stays on my hip. Aggie 76, Aggie Pride checking in. Man, I tell you, the Aggies. I mean, with all the good things the Aggies are doing, man, I swear, if they win some football games, those Aggies are gonna be. We ain't even. They're not gonna know how to act this year. All they got to do is win some football games. They're doing everything else right. Selling season tickets, homecoming sell out in like fast. It sold out faster than a Chris Brown concert. I mean, man, I tell you what.
that's fast.
Yeah, that's fast. Exactly. Let's see who else is in there. RB Parker, good to see you. Thanks for checking in. Blue Jacket for Life. Jeff Roberts, another Aggie in the building. There you go. See, he said nose. He saw me at SWAC Media Day. It was on. It was on. But yeah, good stuff, man. Appreciate everybody for checking in. Got to give a shout out to Charles Bishop. It's his birthday. I don't think I gave him a shout out in our private group, but I will give a personal shout out right here on the air. Maybe Charles is watching, but if not, you guys know how to hit up Charles on Facebook or on. I don't know if he's really active on Twitter. I see Charles on Instagram every now and then. But if you know Charles Bishop, if you see him out there, hit him up. Let him know happy birthday. Um, the one of the professors, of course, of Dr. Cavill's inside the HBCU Sports Lab. So yeah, shout out to CB on that one. All right.
It was
Uh,
Charles' birthday, but Doc went out, flew out the country. You go figure that.
well, I mean, look, he probably invited Charles, but Charles was like, man, I gotta be locked in. I probably got some things to do around the house before football season comes, and he just becomes unavailable every weekend. So, you know, married life. I don't know. It's a different game. For me, I just get up and go when I want to go. I just need to, you know, just yeah. I'll leave it at that. But anyway, okay. So let me see what else is going on.
Wherever that is.
Yeah, where is that? Where is that? Edwin,
And
put us down.
what kind of seafood is it?
Yeah, let us know. You know what I would like to do, Drew, and I think what we need to do is we need to compile a list of the best spots to eat at in the SWAC on the road, because we're on 3 weeks away. 3 weeks away. There's going to be some some places. Your people are going to be traveling over the next 3 months.
Yeah,
Four.
let's do it for all conferences. Everybody put your suggestions in for when we visit your school. Be it you're in the SWAC, CIAA, SIAC, BAC. Where is the best place to get some food on a football Saturday? Now, let me define when I say best. Obviously, it's got to be a tasty, tasty entree. It could be a local, and it needs to be a local favorite. You know, I don't need any type of chain restaurants. And service and price have to be a part of it.
So you want to do like the what's the deal? We do the dollar sign. Is it a $2 sign, $3 sign, or $4 sign?
Now
Now,
you got to put the menus, little menu side, the fork and the knife.
well, here's what I would say: $2 sign. Like if you put like $2 up, like a $2 sign, that means you can spend $10 to $20 and eat really good. It's probably somewhere that you got to go get something to go because there's really no place to sit down, right?
Right.
That would be a $2 sign spot. Now, a $3 sign spot would be you're probably going to spend at minimum $20. You're going to be able to sit down.
We probably have to leave a tip.
You probably got to leave a tip. You got to sit down somewhere. Service, it's hit or miss depending upon the crowd, you know. But the food is worth waiting for. And then you have the $4 sign. That's like the maybe you have to make reservations. Maybe you got to get there early. Maybe you expect long lines. Expect to spend minimum $40 per person. And that's including the drinks. Like $40 is including the drinks. You know what I'm saying? That's a so
in a restaurant that would be like an Applebee's style type place. If you
the what?
An Applebee's style type or something.
That's
like
a three. That's a three.
That's a 3.
That's a 3. You know, Applebee's might even be a 2, but it's Applebee's. So you know. But anyway, I would qualify Applebee's as a $2 sign place because
you getting a 2 for?
Exactly. You can get a deal. It's a bargain. Yes, you may be able to sit down, but you know, so.
But like I said, no chains though.
No, yeah, no. Don't expect
It
chain.
could be a regional, like a local chain, but no national chains.
Kieran, $20, no drink, just water. Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. Let me see. What else? What I gotta check the price points. Oh, I don't follow. What's what? Check. You have to check your price on. Oh, okay. I see what you're saying. Okay. Obviously, you have. Well, you know, obviously, G Boom, your home games, you're tailgating. Yes, I know, but I'm just talking on the road. I'm talking if you're going on the road and maybe you're not tailgating, you're not a big tailgater, but you're going on the road. That'd be a great thing to do. You go Chili's, but I just had Chili's for lunch. I tell you, the three for $10, the three for $10 is such a great deal. Such a great deal. Big chicken sandwich, some fries, and then you get an appetizer. Come on, man, you can't beat that. They know they're getting beat. And then I was just peeping the Red Lobster. Look, we're talking food now. This segment. I just peeped I just saw an Instagram ad about Red Lobster deals. I didn't know Red Lobster had so many good deals going on during the week. I may have to roll up on Red Lobster on like a Wednesday or Thursday.
Well, I need everybody to roll up on Red Lobster since they're a sponsor of the Band of the Year. Since they're the title sponsor.
All right.
Sometime during football season, you got to roll up on a Red Lobster for me. And let us know about it. Soccer password on the John.
Buffalo Wild Wings, expensive as heck. You know what? I passed on Buffalo Wild Wings today. Huh?
Buffalo Wild Wings is overpriced.
I think so too.
Yeah.
I think so too. Again, I went to Chili's for lunch and I was in the Buffalo Wild Wings parking lot looking at the prices and realized I didn't have enough points. And then their point system, reward system is out of whack too. Like, you know, it was like, you wanted me to use up all my points to get this free meal? I'm like, yeah, anyway.
Probably because it was a Friday or Saturday.
Yeah, Buffalo Wild Wings is the place to go on like a Tuesday. Any other day of the week, it's kind of like, good
Friday,
luck.
Monday is not it.
Yeah. So, let me see. I'm going to star some of these suggestions. Mary dropped one in here. Virgil's Restaurants in Atlanta and Conyers, okay?
It's too far away
See,
from everybody though. Who HBCU? I'm not driving all the way out to Conyers.
well, she said in Atlanta.
Oh, okay. As long as it's in Atlanta,
I mean, I don't know. Is that inside the loop, Mary? I mean,
it got to be in the perimeter for me.
is Conyers out? I'm assuming Conyers is outside the perimeter, outside the
Conyers
loop.
outside the perimeter and the opposite side of town for which I live on.
Yeah.
That's out towards where Jamie and Roy stay.
Oh my goodness. Yeah, that's out there.
Yeah,
Whew. Yeah, it'd take an hour to get out there. All right, so let's get into a little bit of the news that's happening around. Look, camps have opened up. Everybody's got camps that have opened. Everybody's hitting. A lot of people had scrimmages yesterday. Did Morehouse have a scrimmage yesterday, Drew?
no, we first scrimmage would be next weekend.
Okay, this was the first week of practice, though, right?
Yeah, first week of practice for us.
Okay.
D2, we started Wednesday.
Oh, okay, okay.
Yeah, so it's not
Even though you guys are playing your game.
yeah, but D2 rules, you only get so many days.
Oh, really? Different rules. Even though they're letting you play week 0, you have to play
You,
by the old calendar.
no, you can only have so many practices before your first game. So it's based on when you play your first game. If you're
Oh,
not playing week 0, they're not practicing yet because you
oh,
can get so many practices in. I don't know the number. That's what compliance is for.
oh. Well, that's interesting. So camps are open, especially seen a lot of videos of the FCS level. Now, I want to ask a serious question as you guys are. What excites you right now about videos and promotional and social media stuff you see on camps? First off, is there anything that excites you? Because not only do you have college camps, you got the NFL camps. So of course, if you follow an NFL team, you're probably seeing a lot of stuff. But what?
Yeah, preseason open up. Hall of Fame game was this past Thursday.
Yeah. So I mean, what gets your juices going? Is it you want to see the scrimmage? You want to see the play? You want to see a quarterback throw a pass? You want to see a receiver jump for a ball that any other time you'd say, man, that was a horrible pass, but oh, he made a great catch. Do you want to see a DB? Do you want to see what plays kind of get you excited? I'm curious.
Brian
You
is
know,
me, and like most of these teams, I want to know who is QB1 and how does he look? Because a lot of teams still have not named QB1. So who is he? How does he look? That's what I want to see. And you're not going to get those videos.
Roy said anything, anything right now, any and everything works. All right, well, at the end of the day, that's I feel like I've become mute to it, Drew. I really feel like I'm kind of like meh to it all. I don't know. Is that possible? Is that because we talk about it so much and I don't know why I feel that way. I don't know why I don't get excited about you know all of the preseason camp stuff. I don't know. But anyway, so I'd love to see what you guys are hearing out there. Any interesting quarterback battles that you guys are hearing about it? Just football. Look, we talk about football, 10 months out the year, I feel. So I don't have any problem talking about football. So that part is.
What 2 months do we take off, Brian?
Yeah. Well, that's a good point. That's a good point. I was going to suggest maybe April.
Maybe May?
May. Yeah, I was going to suggest maybe May and June. May and June, really?
Now you kind of start talking about it come June. Soon as baseball gets over with, everybody's back on football.
This is a great point by Steve. Is it because there's so many new players? Maybe it's hard keeping track of, I think part of the mystique that has been lost with the old days is you could follow guys. Like you knew that 75 to 80% of your roster from one year to the next was going to come back. And you could kind of track that stuff.
Right.
Nowadays,
There could be
70% of your roster is leaving.
starters. 22 new starters probably for somebody.
Yeah. So I mean, that's got to be challenging for the average fan to keep track of. So let me see. What's Roy say? What do you say? We had a receiver catch a 40-yard pass on the back of a DB and hold on to the ball. Hey, exciting. Maybe if you're lucky, you'll see that play in one game. Maybe. Emmett said NFL games are fool's gold. Rosters are bigger than I thought rosters in the old days were bigger though than today. Because remember, you could stack gray shirts on top of red shirts. Maybe that was at the higher levels. Maybe that wasn't necessarily HBCUs. I don't know.
Couldn't afford to keep them at the HBCU level.
The next football season starts a week after the champion at the national championship. No time for off season. I tell you. I mean, it starts. It starts as soon as it's over, and while it's finishing up, it's like there's movement happening. I think that's another thing that kind of irritates people. Like you can't concentrate on your season ending, or you can't concentrate on the biggest games of the football season because you got all this other college football news that's happening. You got coaching movement, you got recruiting, high school recruiting going on. All of it's a really ugly calendar. The football calendar is really ugly.
And now you got, do they get 5? Do they get 4? Do they get 5 for 5? Do they get 4 for 5? You got all that going on top of everything else, Brian.
Oh man, that's a nice transition. Nice transition. I see what you did there, Drew. Okay, so let's get right into it. As Drew just hinted there, 5 for 5 is coming to a Division II near you. On what day was the 5th? That was just a few days ago. Was that Thursday? Wednesday. On Wednesday, the NCAA Division II Executive Board adopted what they call emergency. Let me pull my notes out here. Emergency legislation, creating a new age-based 5-year eligibility period, effective immediately. Now, didn't we just had this spring up for Division I, didn't we?
It is an exact carbon copy of the initial ruling on the Division I level.
Beautiful. Okay.
So
now
should
the
not be
division
anything new to anybody except it now applies to D2. But keep going, Brian.
Right. So the change from the Division II system was 4 seasons of competition within 10 semesters or 15 quarters of full-time enrollment. So obviously 10 semesters would really be like 5 years. So really, similar to what you had, right?
Yes. 10 semesters of 15 quarters, yes.
Yeah, so under the new model, the 5-year clock begins at the earlier of 2 things. The student athlete's initial full-time enrollment at any college or university, including junior colleges and international institutions. Or, number 2, the beginning of the regular academic year following the athlete's 19th birthday. So the clock is a continuously running clock. So it doesn't matter if you sit out, it doesn't stop. If you transfer, it doesn't stop. If you leave school for temporarily for whatever reason and then come back, it didn't stop. So it sounds like, Drew, the NCAA is eliminating the concepts from the seasons of competition limitations, the traditional red shirts, the 10-semester, 15-quarter rule, medical hardships, extension of eligibility waivers, season of competition, all that stuff the NCAA is getting rid of. Yeah?
Yeah. Except there's three exceptions still. Uh, Pregnancy, military, and religious missions. Those are the three exceptions.
Yeah. Now there is what is this? This is interesting here for the Zach brings up here. How Ivy League handles this now. A fifth-year Ivy League players look. I tell you, a player could graduate from an Ivy League school, and then you'd be eligible to play your fifth year somewhere, I guess.
Brian, if I'm going to an Ivy League school, I'm not transferring to play ball.
You probably get.
Most people are
You
trying
probably get.
to an Ivy League school to get to grad school.
You probably got something better going on, right?
Exactly.
I'd imagine. Okay, so
and also we talked about this on the Division II level. You know, there are a lot of colleges on the Division II level who are still 4-year only institutions. So that's going to be a change of how things are done at those institutions, including my institution where I work, Miles College. Benedict does have limited graduate programs, but places where you don't have graduate programs.
but you can also get a secondary bachelor's, though, Drew.
You could get a second bachelor's or
Yeah.
something along those lines, but unless it's like business administration and poli sci, which kind of go together or something like that, it might be kind of tough.
See, Drew, I knew it wasn't just me. Thank you, Karen. Karen even said your audio is low. I knew it wasn't just me. I thought it was me, or I thought we had fixed it. Thank you, Karen, for seeing that, recognizing that. Sly. No, I'm sorry. You don't get that. If you do that, Sly, you don't get to take a year off because you got someone pregnant. Sorry.
Let me log out and log right back in.
Hold on. You just sounded better. You sounded better there.
Do I sound better?
Huh?
Do I sound better?
I don't know. I thought you did for a second. Well,
that's because I put the microphone right here, and I'm not going to hold this microphone for the whole show.
Can't you move it, shift it?
No, it's not. It's going to slide back out. So let me log out and try to log back in.
That's what she said. Oh, hey now. All right. No, come on now. Log out. Well, why don't I do this? If that's the case,
all right, I'll stay. I'm gonna try.
No. You sound. See, now you sound good. Give me a thumbs up in the chat if Drew's audio sounds good. Drew, you sound good. You sound good. Okay. Good catch, Edwin. Good catch. Okay. See, I know, Sly, your job gives, men paternity leave, it's just because your job wants to be PC. That's all. That's the only reason, But anyway, no.
So, all right, so let's see what guy's the first one to sue for that year because his girlfriend had a baby.
Pregnant, and I had to. You know what?
I mean, it's legit.
They sue for everything else, so why not? Okay.
And the NCAA will lose that one.
Yeah. Now here's some. I found this kind of interesting as I was reading over this. Right, the distinction. Okay, this has been widely described as a 5 years of eligibility or the 5-for-5 rule, but the NCAA itself says that description is not completely accurate. Okay, I mean, we talked about the exemptions. The rule does not guarantee everybody 5 years. And I think that's why they say that. The eligibility depends on when the clock begins. Now, I thought about this when I heard that and I read that. Here's what I thought about. This, I think, is going to put a new wrinkle on the little habit that some parents in some states do with their middle school boys.
Or the kindergarten red shirt.
Or the kindergarten red shirt or the middle school
the 8th grade red shirt.
Right, the 8th grade red shirt. I think that's going to start to change because the whole point of this new rule means when you turn 19, it needs to happen when you are either somewhere along the line graduating, like that year. Let's just say for the class of 2026, right? Let's just say, so maybe you're turning 19 August 15th, but you've already graduated. Previously, what you could get away with, you could redshirt and now say you're going into your senior year because your birthday is what? The 15th. Well,
You're after the cutoff date for that state.
You're after the cutoff date for that state. So now guess what happens to you? Your eligibility when you graduate in 2017, when you'll be 19 and 10 months, like you're the old guy in your senior class. You're 19 and 9 or 19 and 10 months. You barely made it through so that you still qualify for high school athletics. But guess what already started on you? Your college eligibility clock started on you. So now I think you're going to have kids in high school, Drew, that are going to start reclassifying, back to the grade in which they probably should have been. We've seen that happen in some sports, right? You're seeing that. It's very rare, but it happens. But I think you're going to start to see more of that, where you're going to see less of the 8th grade red shirt, or you're going to start seeing more kids reclassify, and which means, guess what? You only do 3 years of high school, which I guess because of summer school, you could do it. In online classes, you could do 3 years of high school. But you know what I'm saying? You miss out on that quote unquote senior year. Am I reading that right? Does that feel like what you?
Yeah, but that's more of an extreme case, Brian. Like you said, you would have had to have the red shirt and your birthday. You would have to have a late birthday, as we call it. So even with a late birthday, you still get in under the 19 model, long as you don't get held back. Now that could be self-inflicted, or that could be parent-inflicted on that holdback. So, and one thing that's good to note that is right now, current student athletes take the system that's best for them. Right now, the most beneficial. So if you came in right now, you have you have college eligibility, and you came in at 18, 17, 18, or 19 years old, you get 5 years based on this new rule.
Mm-hmm.
If you were a non-traditional student, say you were 20, 21 when you came in, non-military, non-mission, non-pregnant, and you're in now, you're gonna fall back to the old model with the traditional red shirt, and you've got 8 semesters because you were age out by 24 with your 4 years of eligibility. So it's whichever one is going to be the most beneficial for you. Now, here's the problem, Brian. Just like on the Division I level, the class of 22 is screwed.
Poor kids. Tough year.
20 and 21, they got a COVID year.
Mm-hmm.
23 and beyond now have the 5th year option because of this rule. 22, since they exhausted their eligibility this year before the ruling came out, or screwed. Now, it's gonna be interesting to sit back and watch this. Do the current lawsuits that are out there for the class of 22 for the Division 1 players, since this rule mirrors the Division 1 rule, do they get included in that class action? Or will there be a new class action where 2022 players file a class action at the Division 2 for the Division 2 level in a state that is going to obviously going to favor them?
Mm. Well, if I recall at the Division 1 level, right, and if I recall the ruling that Judge whatever her name is brought up, and we talked about this last
The one in
week,
Colorado.
right? If it's this really only affects the kids who did 4 and 4. Now, if you, again, I think I said this last week, if you were fortunate enough to go 4 years of college athletics without any injury, without any red shirt, I would think you're pretty fortunate and probably pretty blessed, and you probably already got at least a bachelor's degree of some sort. Now, I know you don't get to make another whatever you made in NIL money, if anything. But
We
guess
talking
what?
Division 2, Brian. This is
Okay,
NIL
so
is not a big.
all right, so even my point even serves I think my point hits home even bigger here at Division 2 level, but I still feel the same way about Division 1. You were fortunate enough, you did the 4 and 4. You played 4 and 4. You didn't have the red shirt. Move forward with your life. Young man, young woman, move forward. You had a good thing. Again,
Okay.
it's only greed that wants you to stay around for a 5th year. I think honestly, I feel like it's only greed, because if the NIL didn't exist, would you really, you played 4
Brian,
and 4?
hold up, Brian. What if you're still around for academic purposes? Your school offers a master's, and you were staying for the master's degree anyway. Number one.
Okay. That's
Number
fair.
two, you may be a double major who need that extra year for your major, or you may have. Hell, Brian, we was in the SBI. How
I'm
many of
all
us
for
actually?
academic considerations.
How many of us actually finished in 4 years?
Yeah, very few.
Very few of us. Even the smartest people that we came in with did not finish in 4 years, just because of the rigors of our curriculum in SBI. And I want to hit on this one. Rosters at the Division 2 level are not locked. Division 2 is not subject to the roster limitations that Division 1 is. That's first of all, Edwin. Scholarships are locked. Maybe not, Edwin. While your football scholarships may be locked, your basketball scholarships may be locked. We all know most of our non-real sports are not fully funded. So if I've got my star, whatever, softball, volleyball, whatever, I'm going back to the president. I'm going to financial aid. Like, we need to transfer some money, because by rule we still have a scholarship available.
Okay.
Especially
Again,
if they play
if
it,
we're talking
did
academic
right
purposes,
by my
I don't
school.
see. I can't see any school. Well, let me not speak for a school. I mean, Jesus, but I would be in support of any student getting that extra year, especially if you're pursuing those academic things that you spoke of, Drew. But I don't think all of the cases we're hearing or the lawsuits that are out there are about
Yeah.
pursuing an extra degree
On the Division 2
or
level,
additional
Brian,
years.
on the Division 2 level, if I'm already in school because I need another semester to finish up, or possibly a year, if I could play ball and you could give me some money, because now I'm probably paying for most of this out my pocket now, and I still have the passion for the game, and I'm still in shape or I could get back in shape quickly because I still been playing ball this summer. Why not, Brian? Why not? I'm already on campus. Heck, I was already gonna be a student assistant or whatever for the whatever team. Now I actually get to play for one more year. I was probably a student assistant, and you got me on some type of money to help me out so I can graduate and keep our graduation numbers up. You just convert that over to a scholarship.
Okay, so let's talk about this as it relates to this 5-5. How is this going to affect? How do you think this is going to affect roster management, roster development in the SIC and the CIAA, Drew?
Well, let me say this. Right now, this rule is probably not going to affect football. Because if you aren't already in camp or didn't come to camp for the baby, right now, you're probably not going to be in shape enough or well enough to be able to help me out this year in football.
Okay, hold on.
Start
Let me pause for a second.
Yes.
Given what you just said, and I hate to say this, but does that kid play judge here for a second? Does the kid who missed out because of what you just said, does he have a lawsuit to allow him to play in the fall of 2027? just a wild thought here, right? I mean, okay, go ahead, continue. That came to my mind as you described it. I said, oh, hell, there's another lawsuit.
Yeah.
Anyway, go ahead, finish up.
But this is probably going to be your winter and spring sports that are probably going to be the most beneficiaries of this ruling.
Mm-hmm.
Brian, you don't think a team's going to take that first team basketball player back if available? You're going to find a roster spot for him.
If you can fit him, if you got a spot left,
you going.
There's some coaches who I know. There's some coaches who I know who have intentionally left a spot or two open
just in case.
The smart coaches who have been reading the room on this have purposely left a spot or two on the roster open with the hope that some player that they were sitting on was going to get that fifth year.
Yeah.
The smart coaches, the smart staffs, they're planned for this. They have planned for this.
Yeah. But you asked about roster development. Once again, I think ultimately this may hurt the high school player initially. Because now that's one less spot. Because you may have, let's just take football rosters, Brian. In a typical year, you probably lose 20 to matriculation on a football roster. We're not talking portal. We're not talking everything else. We just talking about you have exhausted your 4 years of eligibility. Would you say that's a fair and accurate number, Brian?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Let's say half of those come back. 10 decide to stay for that fifth year.
Mm-hmm.
That's 10 spots right there already off of your roster. Now, if I'm a coach, am I going to the portal or not? I'd rather keep the 10 that I have, and I know what I have, than take a chance on the portal. So you've got to figure what the few spots you had for freshmen probably got cut in half. Now, Division IIs are still going to bring in freshmen and develop them. But now you have to understand, freshmen, that instead of developing one before you really get an opportunity to play, you may wind up developing two. But now you don't have to be afraid to play that person as a true freshman for fear of burning his red shirt. Because at the Division II level, if you play any part in football, if you play any part of that season, you burned a year.
Right.
That's why you very rarely saw true freshmen play at the Division II level. versus at the FCS level when you got the 4 games.
Right.
So now the ones who make the cut, you're gonna see them get more action because I could get you in games. I could get you in that blowout game. I could get you in when the person in front of you or the two people in front of you go down in the same game and not have to worry about wasting a year because that year is toast anyway, whether you play or whether you don't play. So for the ones who make the team, I think you're going to see a lot. You're going to see them with opportunities to play more. But yes, it will be tougher for them to get in, especially initially, because coaches are still having to figure this out. Compliance officers having to figure this out. Hell, they just got this ruling last week. They don't know what the hell going on, and then depending on these lawsuits, they'll have one ruling today, and 3 days from now it'll be something different.
At the end of the day, I still like this ruling. Well, I like it from the standpoint of we're trying to keep collegiate athletics within a certain age range. Now, I know regular students don't graduate in 4 years. Most students don't. Some people still do. A lot of people don't. A lot of people start school a little bit later, maybe after a year or two. Um, Maybe they come from an associate's program, a community college, junior college, whatever you want to call it, and they, took them 2 or 3 years to maybe get to the 4-year university, right? But I still like in terms of playing college athletics. This is a window between your 18 to 24-year-old window. And I really feel like that's what they're trying to do. Now, yes, there are going to be exemptions, but for 95% of the players are going to fall within that 18 to 23, 24 range, Drew. I really and that's not bad.
Yeah. Let me tell you something else that's going to be interesting with this, Brian. Now you can go do your 2 years at a JUCO,
Yeah,
and you still get 3 years
yes,
at the big boy level.
yes.
At least 3 years. Depending on how this plays out, you may get up until you're 24, which means you may get 4 years. We haven't heard a ruling on that yet. How does JUCO eligibility affect this? Because if I'm 18 when I graduate high school, I do 2 years of JUCO. Do I still get 4 years, or do I get 3 because it's a cap of 5? That's something
No,
I want to.
it's supposed to be. I thought we just read it. It's
No,
it's
but
a
it doesn't.
5-year roll. It's a 5-year
5 year.
window.
Com-
Period.
Yes, but the thing that still has not been resolved is, do your years at JUCO count against your NCAA clock?
Yes.
That still has not been resolved. That was a 1 year.
Well,
That
it's
was
the
a
nine-
1 year
it's the
rule.
19. It's the 19. It's the 8. And see, that would be where the age limit comes in.
Right, which means you could possibly get 4 years if I play JUCO 18 to 20.
Yeah.
Now you get 4 years.
Yeah.
Okay, but
Yeah.
like I say, that has not
Yeah.
that still has not been clarified as far as does the 2 JUCO years come off of that 5?
Okay. I thought it
All
said
right.
it, but I mean,
Now here's the other one. Does this allow for more D1 bounce backs to the D2 level? I did. I was third string at said P5, P4 school, autonomous 2. I now have an extra year. Do I go to a D2 and play and start on that masters?
or you could do. Here's a good example of that, Drew. The young man that's the quarterback at Florida A&M, Isaiah Knowles. He started at Navy, right? His
Yeah.
redshirt year was at Navy.
He was gonna get the extra year anyway.
Exactly. So,
On
but
the D1 rule.
Right. So, but then he went to
Albany
the
State.
Division II Albany State, where he played 2 seasons there. I think it was 2 seasons, or was it 3?
Two.
Slides in the chat.
He two. He did two.
Okay, 2. Okay. 24-25, 2 successful years, player of the year in the conference. And then when his coach went to FCS program, he transferred to an FCS program. And so he's done 5 years of college, 5 years of college athletics, 5 years of college football, but he's used his years where he did the red shirt and then a year at Navy. Then he did 2 years at Albany State, now a year at FAMU.
Right.
And that's what you could have.
Right.
You could
So
have.
right now he gets an extra year at FAMU.
This is his. Well, it's not an extra year.
Right now, based on the old rule, he gets
This is his 5th and final year at FAMU.
No, this will be his 4th year. This is his 4th year of playing. This is his 8th semester. This will be his 7th and 8th semester right here.
I don't think that's accurate. Hold on. I'm going to go look at the roster because I saw somebody in the chat said that programs are rostering and they're putting correct tags on players so that we know what their classification is. I just want to look and see on the roster, is there anything of such?
I just got a clarification from somebody, Brian.
Talk to me. What does it say?
It was on the JUCO rule. Yeah, it was an injunction. I might have misstated that, but it was a 1-year injunction. So as of right now, you get 5 total. So if you use your 2, if you use 2 at JUCO, you only get 3. Right now, that's the way it reads right now. They may change that interpretation, which it wouldn't surprise me if they do. But right now, you get a total of 5.
All right, I'm pretty sure Knowles this is his last ride. We'll
say that for Wednesday. Say that one for Wednesday.
Again, I was just using him as the example in the case. Okay. I wanted to hit. Was there one? I know there was one other talking point that I wanted to mention. I think that was still out there regarding this new 5 for 5. But I think we've hit on most of the major points, and so we'll kind of again wait to see where the legislation goes. When this officially gets passed, I guess it has to be voted on, right? Because even though the executive board adopted it, it probably still has to be voted on. So I would imagine those kind of things will happen sometime this week. Yeah.
Now, when my compliance officer tells me to change somebody's eligibility, that's when I get into it.
Lord, you know what? How about this? I know we got a couple of. I know we have the great, the legendary Travis Jerome, and somewhere in the chat, and I have you. What do you think? Should all, as we move forward here, should all players be classified now by their year? Like this is his 1st year, 2nd year, 3rd year, 4th year, 5th year. No more freshman, sophomore, redshirt junior, grad student. And let's do away with all of that. Let's just categorize them by what year they are on their collegiate cycle.
Actually, there's an option on the websites
to do that.
Website software to list them like that.
I would love to know what Mr. Jerome feels about that. And Drew, maybe we'll check the chats during the commercial break and see if he agrees or disagrees with that model. But I think that would bring a lot of clarity, in this situation. It would avoid the situation that occurred at Alabama State, where the young man went to another school, had a year, let me see. It'll be freshman. I didn't know that had been decided. Okay, Zach. Let's still get rid of it. Let's just do first, second.
Well, Brian, here's the thing.
We want to hold on to these.
You still have to use the red shirt option right now because some players may be under the new rule. Some players may be under the old rule, whichever is more beneficial to them. And
I'm
that being, if you're an older student, you're going to be up under the red shirt rule. If you're not an older student, you're going to be up under the new rules, 1 through 5.
Oh, okay. I'm gonna go take a look at the JSU roster and see how they have theirs set up. Okay. Look, and then Edwin, look, you're bringing up something that I'm gonna get into next week. That we'll pin that.
Actually, I think that's under the way too that they're going to eliminate the week 0.
We just need to have because this is week 1, and Division 2, you need to be on the same calendar.
Yeah, they are on the same calendar this year, Brian.
What?
Yeah.
They finally listened to your boy?
They are on the same calendar this year.
Where? I'm all choked up now. Where's Steve at? I've been trying to tell Division 2 to get on board and get on the same calendar. Amen. Woo! All right. See, now I can go to break. I need to go get some water.
See, Travis, you could do that. I couldn't do that yet until that ruling came out last week at the Division 2 level.
Yes. See, thank you. Score 1 for B. Fulford. Yes, I know. Look, tough, Steve, tough. Look, Steve hates it. I love it. Yes, get the fanny pack petty. Let me check my pocket here. Put my pocket here. Nope, I don't have my petty card. I'm gonna just start keeping my fanny pack on that says petty. That's right. I got another one right. All right, that's 2 weeks in a row, Drew. I don't care what y'all say. Okay, let's go to a break now and come back and hit on a couple more topics. And specifically, I want to go through some of the strength of schedules. What Division II football teams in the CIAA and the SIC have the hardest and easiest schedules? Now, of course, based on their opponent's record from a year ago. And we'll match that up with some of the predictions and the preseason predictions. And does that give you more confidence or less confidence in those predictions that are being made? So hang tight with us. You're watching the BCSN SportsWrap right here on the Black College Sports Network. We'll be back in just a moment.
Introducing the HBCU Trivia Game. It's more than a board game. It's a journey to the legacy of historically black colleges and universities. Here's how it works. 2 to 4 players, ages 13 and up, start as freshmen and roll the dice to advance. But here's the twist. You can only move forward by answering trivia questions about HBCU. Test your knowledge of notable alumni, key historical events, sports milestones, and fun HBCU facts. Watch out for spaces that can propel you ahead or set you back. And if you get a question wrong, you stay put until your next term. The first to reach graduation wins. The HBCU Trivia Game. Support, educate, entertain. Available now. Let the journey begin.
For over 30 years, HBCU Image has been more than just an apparel store. We've been a movement, a statement, a legacy. We celebrate the pride, the purpose, and the culture that make historically black colleges and universities legendary. Whether you're a student or a lifelong supporter, our gear lets you wear your HBCU story with confidence and style. Because when you wear HBCU Image, you're not just wearing clothes. You're wearing culture. You're wearing pride. You're wearing purpose. HBCU.
Tune in to the BCSN Pod Zone, the aggregate of some of the best HBCU sports shows on the net. Find them on Amazon Music, Apple Podcasts, iHeartRadio, Spotify, and everywhere you hear podcasts.
football fans. HBCU football is back in the ATL on August 29th with the Cricket MEAC SWAC Challenge Kickoff presented by Toyota, representing the SWAC, Alabama A&M, and representing the MEAC, Howard, Bulldogs, Bison, the Marching Maroon and White, the Showtime Marching Band, the premier FCS matchup in prime time with a kickoff trophy up for grabs. Join us pre-game for band jamborees, food, activations, and fellowship. For tickets and information, visit MEACSWACChallenge.com.
Register your business for the premier urban business directory in the country, the Urban Passport. Visit myjbn.com/passport. The Urban Passport, the evolution of the Green Book.
You're looking for the latest information on Southern University sports, the Southwestern Athletic Conference, and HBCU athletics. There's only one place to go. Tune in to the Carlos Brown Show, exclusively on the Black College Sports Network.
It's Orange Blossom Classic. South Carolina State Bulldogs versus the FAMU Rattlers. September 6th, Labor Day weekend, Hard Rock Stadium in Miami Gardens, Florida. You don't just want to watch it, you want to feel it. The sound of the bands, the energy in the stands, and the pride on every play. Get your tickets now at orangeblossomclassic.com. Built on history, fueled by pride.
All right, welcome back to the BCSN SportsWrap right here on the Black College Sports Network. Bryan and A.D. Drew here. Want to remind you guys to go check out the BCSN Pod Zone. You heard it during the commercial, but everywhere that you listen to podcasts, Spotify, Amazon Music, iHeartRadio, Apple, and Google Podcasts, the shows that appear on the Black College Sports Network are available for you in podcast format for you to download, subscribe, rate, and review. We'd appreciate you doing that. Carlos Brown show last night, in case you missed it yesterday afternoon, you can catch it on the Pod Zone, the BCSN Pod Zone, everywhere that you listen to podcasts. That's BCSN Pod Zone.
Brian, courtesy of Travis Jerome.
Hey! I'm wearing that. Hey, I'm bringing that to Jackson State. That will be, yes. Travis, when I come to Jackson State this year, that's what I will be wearing, my petty fanny pack. That is beautiful. I gotta rock that. That's great. That's great.
And he texts the link to where to purchase it from.
Oh, thank you. Did he text? Let me see. Am I included on that text? Or
yes.
Just you?
No, he sent the group text.
Oh man, Travis, you're the best. Thank you. I gotta. That's on. I'm ordering that ASAP.
Let me see if it's in orange or green.
Oh, that would even be sweeter. That would be sweeter. That would be sweeter.
Colors do they have? Now, unfortunately, all they have is that gray that I showed, Brian.
That was gray. It looked white, but that's okay.
Yeah.
That's fine. I'm cool with it. I would gladly take that. Wonderful. Good stuff. Appreciate you, Travis. Hold on. I meant to go check the Jackson State website because he said to go check out the way they do it. And okay. See, they even got 5th year, 6th year. Ooh, Jesus.
Put it up on the screen.
Yeah. Let me do a share screen.
Let's show off Travis's work over there.
Yeah. This will be where we're heading to, huh? Okay. Let's see. All right. So
get rid of the chat so we can see it a little bit better.
Huh?
Go full screen so we can see it.
Oh, go full screen on this?
Yeah.
All right. So there we go. And if you scroll down right.
6th year, 5th year, junior.
Right there. 5th year, a couple 5th year guys. Let me see. Where's the 6th year young man?
Go back up. It was one at the top.
Oh, there's one right there. Kobe Paul, 6th year. 5th year, senior. Okay. So, this is helpful. This can, this will tell you how many guys. And so far I've only seen 2. Just scrolling through the roster here.
Yes.
A lot of fifth year guys. Okay,
So I'm assuming you don't do traditional grad, even if they are grad student, Travis.
Well,
Luther North High School, St. Louis, Missouri.
There you go.
Yeah. School means a lot to me.
Well, there we go. I do think what I do like though is you're keeping it year based. I mean, let's keep it real. Do we really need to know if the kid is in grad school or not?
I was just curious. No.
I
on that.
Yeah, I mean, I don't really care personally, but
and then if you use both grad and fifth year, how would somebody feel like he's a fifth year undergrad? Which we know there are plenty of them. There are plenty of fifth year because I know I was a super senior. Matter of fact, I was a super duper senior by the time I got out.
Is that what they call? Yeah, that's right. What they called it. I have no shame. I had no shame in saying
after 5 is super duper.
6. I can hold my head high and say it took me 6, but I did an internship during the fall semester. So there you go. So good.
Clarification.
Okay, good.
And he said, as far as the grad, not anymore. They don't list them as grads.
Beautiful. So 6th year means they got a waiver. I love it. I love it. Let's all go to that. Let's go to that. Let's get more. Let's get more SIDs to follow this model. And so now I'm going to be as I comb rosters, I'm going to be asking that question.
And now I got to go adjust my whole roster.
There you go, Drew. That's what I like.
No, okay. I don't.
Huh?
I don't.
Well, life comes at you fast.
Life's a bitch, and then you work and do it.
Let's go before we talk about that Title III story. Let's jump over real quick to the MEAC. A couple of talking points here regarding the Mid-Eastern Athletic Conference. The first thing that I gotta find it here. I got okay. The one thing
hold up. EA, you're wrong for that.
I'm not even looking. What did he say? Wow. Oh man, you go look. I'm not. I got enough hate mail in my Twitter inbox from an Alabama A&M fan. I'm good.
There you go.
And plus, I like Quad Brown, so there you go. See, there you go. RB Parker. That's what it says. Starter. Okay, there you go. I'm gonna let you and EA, chat it out. I'm not getting into that. You're not gonna get me in that one, EA. I'm sorry.
Now it's time for the petty jokes.
Not today. Okay. The first piece of news from the Mid-Eastern Athletic Conference that I wanted to make mention of, Drew, is why do you give me a link? Okay. Well, it had to do with a tweet that I saw, but the story links me right to, I think, what's part of our story, that the MEAC the Mid-Eastern Athletic Conference announced that Commissioner Sonia Steele agreed to a 5-year contract extension, continuing her leadership of the conference through 2031. Together, we will continue building opportunities for our student athletes, strengthening our member institutions, and shaping the future of HBCU athletics. Interesting date there, Drew. 2031 kind of falls in line with a lot of things happening for the MEAC. Television,
ESPN
right
specifically,
ESPN stuff, all centered around 2031. Now, I will ask this question because I know there are people asking it. Is this giving Sonia Steele's, of all the great things that she's done, right? But let's just keep it real here. One of the things that we haven't seen is the additions of what do you need? At least 2 more football. I don't even think it matters these days, Drew, but let's just theoretically say 2 more football playing schools. You know, is 2031, which this is 26, so we're talking
5 years.
5 years. Is this giving Sonia Steele a 5-year window to find new members for the Mid-Eastern Athletic Conference, or at least new members to play football in the MEAC?
Brian, I think everybody's missing the boat.
Okay.
While yes, we want to see additional football playing members in the Mid-Eastern Athletic Conference, what you need more than 2 football playing members to come in, or 2 baseball playing members. Because remember, the MEAC lost their automatic bid to the NCAA tournament in baseball. Because there were only 4 baseball institutions left. Norfolk State, Delaware State. Let's see, it was Norfolk, Delaware.
North Carolina Central.
No. North Carolina Central.
But they Central
no,
did have a baseball.
They dropped. That was one of the dev centers. Norfolk State, Delaware State, I believe Coppin and Eastern Shore are the 4 teams that have baseball.
So are you basically saying what's a higher priority, baseball or football?
Well,
baseball
football
versus 2 football.
Well, football is always going to be the top bill and everything. I think that the conference really needs to concentrate on getting baseball back, because Lawrence hit it right on the head. Our baseball teams have not done well in the NEC. None of those MEAC teams have finished above 500 in the NEC since joining the NEC as associate members. So when you're talking about those football playing institutions, Brian, they also need to have baseball teams.
Okay, they aren't doing good in the NEC. Were they doing good in the NCAA tournament?
Brian, they was getting there. We had a bid. You, as a conference, you do not want to lose an automatic bid to any sport.
So how many schools do you need to have in order to get the bid?
6 for baseball.
Okay.
Which, if you stay by my model, that eliminates Tennessee State from a discussion currently.
Well, yeah, because they don't have baseball.
They need to bring that back. But anyway,
yeah, totally different conversation. Right.
So
yeah, that's an interesting dilemma.
Go ahead.
No. Go ahead. I think you brought up a good point there. What is? Well, maybe I'll put that in the chat. What is a higher priority over the next 5 years for Commissioner Stills? Add 2 football programs. Add 2 baseball programs.
Correct.
Oh, I like that. Let me see if I can add that to the chat. I like that. Yeah.
Now, while she has not been able to add, what she has been able to do is stabilize the conference. Because if you look around FCS, those schools, the other conferences are losing members. The SWAC, since the migration of Florida A&M and that exodus in 2020, the MEAC and the SWAC are probably the 2 most stable FCS conferences out there.
Okay.
Let's give her that credit.
Yeah.
She's increased the media rights deal. It's not SWAC-like, but it's better than it was. So, you know, she does a lot of good things, and you know, I like the direction of the MEAC. And think about it, Brian. One of the biggest money makers, the Cricket MEAC SWAC Challenge presented by Toyota, and the Cricket Celebration Bowl presented by Toyota that slice of the pie for an institution joining the MEAC is going to be better than that slice of the pie for an institution joining the SWAC. Should the SWAC also decide to expand?
Okay. So in conjunction with that tweet, sends you to a story about the HBCU for Us, which the commissioners of the MEAC, SWAC, CIAA, and the SIAC all got together in Washington, D.C. for their summer meetings. Now, I asked this question offline. I think this is either the third, maybe the second time that we've heard of them actually meeting. I mean, does anybody know how many times? I mean, and first off, this whole HBCU for Us is probably about a year, no more than 2 years old.
Correct.
How many times have they met? And I know we got some people like WSSU Ram Nation. How many times have the conference leaders met face to face? You know, and I imagine meeting face to face is probably better than a Zoom, but obviously you can meet in a Zoom. But you know, how many times have they gotten together to actually meet? Is this the second or third time? Are they meeting twice a year during the summer before the? You know, I'd love some context on this. But their stated goal is greater collaboration and a stronger collective voice as college athletics continue to change. Some of the topics that they covered and talked about was advocacy for HBCU athletics, national visibility, student athlete opportunities, expanding the Black College Football Poll. That's interesting. Annual HBCU Male and Female Athlete of the Year Awards. Women's flag football, which right now, let me see, which are the conferences that have flag football, Drew?
CIAA and MEAC.
Okay. But we do have, the SWAC has a flag football playing school, right? Alabama State?
Right, and the SIAC is supposed to be coming online also, but I have not heard of any specific institutions that have started up their program in the SIAC.
Okay. The HBCU NBA All-Star activities. No word on who that's going to feature yet, do we? It'll be year number.
No, we do.
Oh, we do? Who's
Yes.
that going to feature?
It's A&T in Hampton this year.
Oh, that's right. That's right. Yeah. Okay. That'll be year number 5, correct?
Right. So then it'll probably cycle back around again.
Okay, because they have gone to
all 4
everybody.
Conferences, and now the 2 of the independents. Sorry, Tennessee State.
So we'll talk about they got a thing coming up. Well, they're not left completely out of the loop, but you know, they are. The HBCU Legacy Bowl, the Black College Football Hall of Fame events, grants,
which features
internships.
The game features the CIAA winner from last year versus the SIAC winner from last year.
Okay. I'm told that this is year number 6 for the All-Star game, I think. Is that what Steve's talking about? This would be year number 6. Okay, Doc chimed in with a little clarification. I see you put that up. Okay. And then grants, internships, facilities, and officiating. Okay. So, what do we, it's always interesting here. The kind of things that we want and expect or hope, I don't know, whichever one of those words, adjectives you want to use, versus what they are accomplishing. Some of the things that I think many people would love to see them work on would be things such as sponsorships, media rights deals, NIL, federal funding, scheduling, all-star events. You know, I don't know where to go with this, Drew, because I want to be respectful here.
All right, Brian. Let's not have a repeat of last week.
Well, no, stop it. See, but I will say, where are you seeing an example of the HBCU for us coming together? Where are you seeing it? Where are you seeing it at work? But outside of the Black College Football Poll, which I think is the one thing that pops to head as the freshest, newest thing. But what other things have you seen where you see this synergy between these four commissioners coming to action?
Well, let's start off with the Hall of Fame game. Previously, it was just out there. The Hall of Fame, Black College Hall of Fame committee just tried to find two teams.
Okay.
I believe after they came together, that's when it was decided for the CIAA and SIAC champion of the previous year to open up against each other.
Okay, good example. And this year, that's a great matchup because we get Johnson C. Smith.
No.
Oh.
No.
Okay. Well, all I'll say is we get Johnson C. Smith versus Albany State. Drew says it will not be a good matchup. I will move forward. On that note.
Yeah.
Go ahead, Drew.
Obviously, and this is going to lead into our next story when we get to it, with the Protect College Sports Act. They have been active in that. So in those discussions and coming as a unified voice with that. So that's something else there, Brian. Haven't seen, yes, congressional legislation, which kind of goes to the Protect College Sports Act. Haven't seen the athletes of the year and everything. Flag is starting to expand. Told y'all that's about 4 or 5 years ago that was going to happen. Let's kind of see how they expanded to the all-star activities, and it may be just helping with the rotation and which teams get into the rotation. With that, obviously the Legacy Bowl, I wonder if they had something to do with the Legacy Bowl moving out of New Orleans to Atlanta.
Okay. Yeah, a lot of things moving to Atlanta, but okay.
Yeah.
I will say I am, while again, I every time I hear about the HBCU for us and the conference commissioners coming together, I will continue to beat. And while all the other stuff is great, the congressional legislation, the Scores Act, I want to see more competitive events on the court and on the fields. I've talked about there is no reason why we don't have a CIAA SIAC week or weekend. There's no reason why in whether it be volleyball, basketball, we don't see this matchup of schools. I mean, I've given the layout for basketball. I mean, it can
actually they do it, Brian. They do it in basketball.
They do.
It's just not as out there as some of our other basketball events, but there has been a CIAA SIAC crossover event in November, opening weekend in November for at least the last 3 years that I know of, maybe deeper than that, men and women at various schools.
Okay. Interesting.
And I think there has been a CIAA SIAC softball crossover also, if I remember correctly, last year.
So, is it really that difficult to cross promote it?
That's a whole nother question, Brian. Brian, we just not getting our media contracts right on the Division II level. Think about it. SIAC, both SIAC and CIAA lost a national partner in HBCU Go. SIAC still has another national partner in ESPN, but that's football and basketball only. Both of them have their networks, but
So who's gonna go sell? Who's gonna go out and get this sponsor? Who? Is it someone from which conference, or is it?
maybe there needs to be a third party that they hire, that they all agree to hire to manage that.
One of the commissioners going to. I mean, a lot of them have similar sponsors. I mean, some of the sponsors for one conference is a part of another conference. It's. I just think, look, you're already scheduling these games. I mean, while we need. What came first, the chicken or the egg? I'm going to stop right there because I'm not going to get into a back and forth. I hear it, but I'm just going to say at some point you got the ability to produce something and get your sponsors by maybe showing your sponsors what you have. Or you could go get the sponsors and then produce the event. Again, see? Look, that's what I'm talking about. What came first, the chicken or the egg? Doc says the egg. Who is that? VMAT said the chicken.
Yeah, let me address this one, Brian. Athletic departments are struggling and unable to provide shared revenue. How in the hell can they start other sports, i.e., flag football? Somebody lying to the athletes. Title IX requires that you have so many, basically, non-revenue sports, and of those sports, you have to so many female sports, and there has to be a certain percentage female scholarships and female sports slots offered in comparison to men's sports. And if you have men's football, there's a different formula for that has to be in relation to your student body. Long story short, flag football is the cheapest sport that you can offer. Point blank, not to go get deeper to the weeds on that, but flag football is the cheapest sport to offer on a college campus.
Okay. Continuing on with the MEAC. So the MEAC lands the 23-game football package, which was announced, as they will have 23 games across
Go full on that, Brian, so people can see it.
ESPN, ESPN2, ESPNU, and ESPN Plus during the season, right?
Yeah.
Of course, the national exposure starts with the Howard versus Alabama A&M game in the cricket MEAC SWAC Challenge kickoff presented by Toyota. See, I got all that right, which is 7:30 on ABC. Then you have the South Carolina State versus Florida A&M game, another MEAC SWAC matchup. That is on ESPN on, what's the date on that? September 6th. In Miami Gardens, 3 o'clock Eastern, I believe, is the kickoff. You also have Delaware State hosting North Carolina Central on ESPN2, October 23rd. What day of the week is that? Let me flip.
That's Friday. That's the Friday night game.
Another Friday. Oh, Friday. Remember when they said Friday games wouldn't work, right?
Yeah.
Okay. See, all it takes is one. Then you have Morgan State hosting South Carolina State on ESPNU on October 29th, which is a Thursday. Howard hosting South Carolina State on ESPNU November 5th, which is a Thursday. And then, of course, the Cricket Celebration Bowl on ABC December 12th on a Saturday. You pointed something out about the number of games on this schedule being more than some other conferences, Drew.
It is the most out of all of the conferences.
Oh. And that doesn't surprise me entirely, because given the fact that the MEAC has a stronger relationship, given their new MEAC network, right, which is run through MEAC network is run through the ESPN portal, or is it its own portal?
I thought it was its own, but
okay,
don't quote me on that.
Yeah, don't quote me on that either. Okay, but it doesn't surprise me that the MEAC has more games, especially given the fact that, well, and what's the SIC? How many games are going to be on the SIC? Which just
22.
That's not bad, and that's the most for any Division II football program or conference, right?
At least HBCU. I don't know about the non-HBCUs. A lot of the non-HBCUs are on Flow.
Uh-huh.
Or their own network. Yeah,
and the CIAA, of course, has their own network. They're kind of, I don't know if they're active. I don't know if they're actively. I'm not going to speak for them. I know they don't have nobody outside.
They don't have a national deal.
Yeah, nobody has a national deal. Nobody has an HBCU Go deal, obviously, except the SWAC, and the HBCU Go deal is minimal. It's been scaled back tremendously, where it's now just one game a week for 13 weeks, featuring one SWAC game or one SWAC school, at least one SWAC school a week. And so then the SWAC is split across three major platforms. Obviously, you got the ESPN game, which will be one game a week. You have an HBCU Go game, and then everything else is primarily running on their own network. So doesn't surprise me. Now, I will say, what does this mean for? Again, I'm still waiting to see what happens in the other sports. I mean, football is great, but how many volleyball games are you going to see on the MEAC network? How many basketball games are you going to see? One of the beautiful things about SWAC TV is that you can practically you can see about 80% of all the SWAC games on SWAC TV. Hopefully this year that number goes up. They say it will.
Well, obviously the infrastructure for baseball and softball is next in the line, and then your other non-revenue sports, tennis, track, golf, bowling. Those type of sports are probably going to be coming.
Russell Hayes says the MEAC is doing something right. Okay. Russell hasn't been on Twitter lately. A lot of people might disagree on Twitter, but that's its own echo chamber, as we know so well, right? All right. Any other thoughts there regarding the ESPN MEAC broadcast deal, Drew?
No, nothing else. Did notice 5 games on linear TV. I don't have the SWAC schedule in front of me to know how that compares with the SWAC. Obviously, 2 of those are shared games with the Challenge and the Celebration Bowl. But 5 games on linear network is gotta be good, including that Friday night game.
Yeah. Do we have time to get into the deep dive about Title III that we mentioned?
If we do, we need to take a break and do that.
Okay. All right. When we come back, and I don't know how many of you are aware of this, and correct me if I'm wrong here on this bill here, Drew, but Title III, the HBCU Sports Media and Connectivity Program, that is a part of the
Protect College
Sports Act.
Yes.
Yeah, and there's some interesting things. Some of you may have heard of this. Some of you may be aware of it. Some of you are like, "Huh? What?" So we'll talk about what Title III and what this legislation is, what it is not, what it could be on the other side of the break, and how some HBCUs could benefit from it. So we'll talk about that coming up on the other side. You're watching the BCSN SportsWrap right here on the Black College Sports Network. A.D. Drew, Brian Fulford. We'll be back in just a moment.
Do you own a business, have a service or product, apparel, entertainment, or food? Would you like to reach an educated client base that are loyal? Then the Urban Passport Business Directory is for you. The Urban Passport is your premier digital discount and media portal with the Urban Digital Television Networks and V108 The Vibe radio properties embedded. Stay connected with the community with the latest news, entertainment, and HBCU sports and culture with the Black College Sports Network. Visit myjbn.com/passport to register your business and sign up for your free app before the August 24th release date. We are the premier digital national urban business directory, always free to the consumer. The Urban Passport, the evolution of the Green Book, and your digital passport to a world of savings.
For over 30 years, HBCU Image has been more than just an apparel store. We've been a movement, a statement, a legacy. We celebrate the pride, the purpose, and the culture that make historically black colleges and universities legendary. HBCU Image, a Kenny T's company.
From cancer care to accidental injuries to cardiac care, we all know that there are times that you can't control what happens in your life. But with Globe Life Family Heritage, you can be prepared to weather the storm when it comes. Call Dr. Beverly Eagle Rogers at 877-300-8269 or visit the website at globelifefamilyheritage.com. With over 25 years of serving communities, Dr. Beverly Eagles Rogers is here to help you and your family through difficult times. Dr. Beverly takes pride in Globe Life being one of the few companies that returns 100% of premiums to clients that stay healthy. So for more information, call Dr. Beverly Eagle Rogers at 877-300-8269 or visit the website at globelifefamilyheritage.com.
Introducing the HBCU Trivia Game. It's more than a board game. It's a journey to the legacy of historically black colleges and universities. Here's how it works. 2 to 4 players, ages 13 and up. Start as freshmen and roll the dice to advance. But here's the twist. You can only move forward by answering trivia questions about HBCU. Test your knowledge of notable alumni, key historical events, sports milestones, and fun HBCU facts. Watch out for spaces that propel you ahead or set you back. And if you get a question wrong, you stay in put until your next turn. The first to reach graduation wins. The HBCU Trivia Game. Support, educate, entertain. Available now. Let the journey begin.
Attention football fans. The Cricket MEAC SWAC Challenge Kickoff presented by Toyota is back in Atlanta on August 29th. Representing the SWAC, Alabama A&M, and representing the MEAC, Howard. Join us at Center Park Stadium for a full day of tailgating, football, and bands.
kinds of shenanigans going on here with the. All right, welcome back to the BCSN SportsWrap. Brian Fulford and A.D. Drew here. Wanted to, before we get into mentioning the strength of schedule on the Division II football side, there was an article or some news that dropped a little earlier in the week, courtesy of HBCU Game Day. Stephen Gaither wrote about this, but it has to do with the Congress's bill that's currently floating up on Capitol Hill, which would give some major support to the sports broadcasting, broadband technology, student journalism through the Protect College Sports Act of 2026. Now, this Steve's article came out earlier in the week, Tuesday. So I'm reading a portion right here from the article. The Protect College Sports Act of 2026 has received attention for its proposed rules involving NIL, athlete compensation, transfers, and NCAA authority. However, the bill also includes a section designed specifically for HBCUs. Title III is the particular piece of legislation there. And,
AKA the Ignite HBCU Sports and Media Act.
Yes, yeah. It's supposed to create a competitive grants for long-term improvements to broadband information technology and media infrastructure at eligible Black college institutions. So it appears that the Congress would have to appropriate the money, which could generate some 1.08 billion with a B into HBCU institutions. All right. It's probably apparently Congress will be promising that up to 180 million per year may be spent. Congress would still have to actually fund it through appropriation. So there's a lot of things going on here, right? So again, authorizing 180 million per year, fiscal year 2027 through 2032. Okay, so we're talking about a 5-year window. Okay, so as a little bit, if hopefully if you haven't read the article, some of it will hit through some of the interesting points here. What would the money actually pay for? All right, and what I think is interesting here about this, Drew, is that it's not just for camera equipment per se, right? So this program, which would be administered by the Assistant Secretary of Commerce for Telecommunications and Information, in consultation with the Secretary of Education, grants would be competitive, and it could last anywhere from 2 to 5 years. And an HBCU could receive more than one award, right? And now what'll be interesting, Drew, is would you rather have this money or would you have McKinsey, what's the
Mackenzie Scott.
Mackenzie Scott. Would you rather have money from Mackenzie Scott? All right.
You want me to answer that right quick?
Can you get both? Yeah, no, go ahead.
No. Actually, I probably want this money before Mackenzie Scott money because this money is earmarked versus the Mackenzie Scott that goes to everybody.
Okay. It does say that the language is unusually specific. Schools can use grant money for production control rooms, master control facilities, mobile and remote production units, cameras, replay systems, graphic systems, audio equipment, fiber, satellite, and IP transmission, streaming infrastructure, and other equipment necessary to produce live athletic events at standards expected by national and regional distributors. So again, this is not just money for football. This isn't to have a better football broadcast. There's a bigger picture here, Drew. And I think what I hear all of this, the first thought comes to, who's administering? Okay, from a university level, who's going to administer this? Who's going to work with? Are you going to your communications, your broadcast communications department?
It has to be a collab, Brian.
Yes, but I mean,
it has to be journalism. It has to be athletics have to be involved. You're probably going to have the school of business involved in this too because of some of the things that are going to be involved in this. Student affairs may be involved in this. So facilities is going to have to be involved in this. IT is going to have to be involved in this. And your comms department for the entire school, not journalism department, everybody. Your communications people for the entire school are going to have to be involved in this.
Which Doc says there is Title III office on campus. What campus? Every campus has a Title III office?
That's as an officer. There's somebody in charge of Title III. Yes.
Really?
Yes.
Okay, I learned something new right here today. Now I got to go.
There may not be an office, but there's an officer.
Well, I feel like this is the next step in this conversation is finding
who that person is at your school.
Yes, at several institutions, and be like, let's get them on the show.
That's probably one of them slash positions, Brian.
All right, well, whatever.
But there's somebody who deals with federal funds and everything else at every institution.
The proposal also explicitly supports student training in sports programming, production distribution, and media operations, and encourages integration with journalism and media programs. Jesus, it takes an act of Congress to make this happen. God bless it. Amen. I mean, how long have we been asking for that? But I mean, whatever. If it takes Congress and it takes millions and billions of dollars, so be it. Okay. Right. Okay. Why should athletic departments care? Why should they be involved in this? Okay. We know some of the, well, maybe you guys don't know, but Drew and I know. We know the challenges that many institutions are having from that side of the spectrum, the production aspects. It's why you don't see certain standardized things when you watch SWAC TV, when you watch. I'm not going to speak for other networks. I don't know what the SIC does. I don't know what the CIAA does, but I'm just going to speak from what I know about SWAC TV, right? There's a reason why you don't see that standardization, right? That's something that is being worked on, right? But if your school, can produce these games, right, and just take any number of issues, right? Your aging cameras. A lot of cameras need to be what's the standard? What's the minimum cameras that you guys are working with at Morehouse, Drew?
I do have 4K cameras.
Okay. So,
But the
4K,
minimum, I do have a couple
you need to at
standard
least be 10.
HDs.
Yeah, you need to be
Yeah, so
standard
1080s.
HD. Yeah,
No, well,
1080.
actually, 720 is standard HD. But
Okay. Well, if you can work off it, but whatever. Many schools don't have that, right? We know replay is becoming a thing now, right? Where is the SIAC? Is everybody got to have replay this year?
yes,
Okay. So, but we know that's been a case where
minimum 3 angles.
okay, so that too can, and you got to have people trained on that. So you got to be able to have the replay servers and systems. This one is interesting. Weak graphics capabilities. I'm not even gonna go there. But you understand.
But here's the thing, Brian. There are multiple graphics packages out there, and depending on whose platform and whose whatever you own, depends on what graphics package you have to run. And there are no 2 graphic packages that are the same.
Sure.
So because
But come up
everybody
with
wants
one.
their look. No,
You gotta
but
come up with one.
everybody wants their look, Brian. So if you're producing a game for HBCU Go, it is totally different look than producing a game for ESPN Plus.
Every network
Versus producing a game for your own conference network.
every network should have the same capabilities. Now, in order to get to the same capabilities, you have to be able to. You got to be able to produce it, right? You can't. Yes, everybody should have the same look. Everybody on Swag TV should have the same score buds, replay graphic, whatever, right? Something should be standard across the board, right? But you gotta work up to that. You got to get that, and so anyway,
one of the biggest things that I would love to see if this would come to fruition is that more students are coming out of school with their Chiron certifications. And anybody who's been in broadcast,
you're speaking over the head of a lot of people watching.
But that
don't know what that is.
Let me put it like this: Chirons, which is what most networks use. If you ever watch NBC or some of those things, those lower thirds, those graphics, your local news, they're probably using the software by Chiron, and there's a level of certification that you have to do that in a live broadcast. So those lower thirds that you see on your local news station or your local sports shows, that's a special certification, and that certification pays money if you have it.
Yeah. Among all of the, so I mean, there's just some of the issues. There's no mobile production, poor venue connectivity, limited streaming capacity, insufficient campus bandwidth. We know about that.
Especially on high volume game days.
Lack of student workforce. Woo, Jesus.
Give us some more work study money.
Cybersecurity weaknesses. Students without, any number of these issues are all potentially investments that Title III can address, right? And so it just inherently, it's going to raise the level of the quality, but more importantly, over the time period, over the 5-year time period, it could also, obviously, if it's managed and done right, it could also provide schools with these live learning labs. I mean, it's a live learning lab, isn't it, Drew? That we've kind of talked about.
It is.
And that's essentially what it provides, right?
Yes.
Title III allows HBCUs to improve campus broadband, IT, cybersecurity, journalism, broadcast, engineering, and academic media facilities. Not merely sports broadcasting. It can fund laboratories, like I just mentioned, digital media studios, network operations capacity. Okay. So at the end of the day, is this federal money a HBCU institution goal, which I think is a bigger it's a bigger need than just simply saying this is a HBCU athletic department. And I think you just talked about it, Drew. It has to be something that the university and all of its stakeholders are a part of, yes?
Yes.
All right, this is interesting. Who would get priority in this? All right. It isn't designed simply to reward the HBCU with the biggest athletic budget or best television product. Oh, Lord. The Commerce Department would be required to consider factors including the age and condition of a school's infrastructure.
If they even have one.
Deferred maintenance, its historical ability to raise capital, bond rating, enrollment, endowment, institutional revenue, and the percentage of students eligible for Pell Grants and other need-based aid. In other words, being financially disadvantaged could make an institution more competitive or attractive to receiving the grant than less competitive. How do you like that, Drew?
Man, I got one question with all this. And I'm probably wrong for saying this.
Interesting comments in the chat. Go ahead.
How we gonna have this legislation and we still talk about getting rid of DEI? Because then we're gonna talk about this is all DEI money, and these will be DEI hires when they get done. Let me shut up before I get myself in trouble.
I would think you also have to be able to provide a plan of how you're going to spotlight all of your campus athletics and not just football. I mean, because at the end of the day, you know, we want to, sports is the front porch of your university and football is the first thing that most people gravitate to. But what do we know? We know that if you can show a plan that your Olympic sports, your women's sports are covered, all of a sudden you become a lot more appealing in theory to, you know, the grant, this program in general, right?
What about those institutions, Brian, that play a majority of their games off campus?
Wait a minute, say that again?
How does the schools that play their games off campus? Let's take Texas Southern for instance.
Well,
They don't have a home football stadium on campus.
Okay.
Does this make them more competitive or less competitive? Technically, Jackson State's stadium is a municipal stadium. What does this put them? And those are just football examples. We're not even going to talk about softball and baseball, Brian. We're not going to talk about track. How many people have a bowling center on their campus?
Oh, that was a great conversation if you caught the Carlos Brown show yesterday.
I did. That's what made me think about it.
The head bowling coach at Southern.
Yeah.
Some of you guys in the chat brought up some very obvious concerns and pauses, you know, in terms of is Title III, is this a good policy? Right?
Well, first of all, for HBCUs, unless this whole entire legislation says that student athletes are not employees, I don't care how much money you dangle in front of us with this Title III, it's not beneficial for us.
And why not? Why do you say why not? Why do you say it's not?
If they classify these students as employees, these student athletes as employees, you're going to see a lot of not only HBCUs but lower resource institutions are going to go, for lack of a better word, belly up. So that needs to be the first issue that is solved. Then you can dangle some of these other carrots and everything else. This pork, as they used to call it back in the day, the pork on the bill. I know some of y'all don't eat pork and everything, but that's what they used to call it. This is just like Brian. This is just like getting legislation for I'm just getting legislation for a military base in your state, and somebody is saying, "Hey, I need to get this bridge rebuilt in my district." Also, that's what this is, and that bridge bill to the funding for the military base.
I was just going to point out that the complicated aspect of this is, should this piece of legislation be separated from the Protect College Sports Act and passed as its own standalone piece of legislation? But we understand, well, if you pay attention, you understand that's how sometimes these things fall apart,
Brian,
make their way through Congress.
Can we get what's happening with the student loans and Pell Grants and everything else that's happened this year? That also needs to be brought up under control. While this may be a good piece of legislation separately by itself, and here's the key thing, Brian, it still has to be funded annually.
Mm-hmm.
Now, given the track record of the current administration, while this may pass, whenever it comes up for the final vote, it's still going to take Congress to fund this.
Yes.
And as long as the makeup of Congress is what it looks like now, in November, if it remains with the same look on both sides of the aisle, in both houses, excuse me, chances of getting that with 180 a year are going to be slim.
Well, again, I think what we'll do is we'll table this because I think there are some other questions that we can discuss maybe definitely next week in part 2. But I want to now that I'm a little more informed, I want to try to find a Title III officer at a university, at one of our HBCUs, and invite them on and find out. And some of these questions that we have, we can go right to the person who is definitely should be a lot more knowledgeable about this than us, right? So we'll come back to this on next week's show, but just on the surface, for you guys in the chat, I just want to know: are you from the little bit? And again, if you haven't read the article from that Steve wrote on Tuesday, let me find the title of it. You can go under HBCU game. You know what? Hell, I'll put the link in the chat. Hell, I'll make it easy for you if you're in the chat. But yeah, there. Just search Congress bill includes major sports media investment. Go take a look at that article. I posted it there in the chats. Go look at the article. But on the surface, would you be thumbs up if you would be in support of seeing this piece of legislation pass, or thumbs down if you're not in support? Just a little quick. I'm curious to see where the chat is just in general, right? just kind of looked at the last poll that our chat, it was related to the MEAC. The chat said 82% they wanted to see 2 football schools for the MEAC. So that was our last poll. But I'm not going to put this in the chat. But thumbs up or thumbs down. You guys can interact and let us know. Thumbs up if you think this will be a good piece of legislation, and obviously there's a lot there, so take your time on it. We'll come back to it on next week, hopefully with someone from the Title III officer of one of our HBCUs, and see if we can get some more info. Let's talk about the strength of schedules for Division II football, Drew, as we kind of pivot back to football. And I want to make sure you pull up, while I set this up, I want you to see if you can pull up the predictions, the predicted order of finishes for the MEAC and the SWAC, right? So I think this will be kind of interesting. So I'm going to talk about the teams with the Division II teams with the hardest schedule, toughest schedule. We'll call it toughest, hardest, however you want to say it, right? Now, again, strength of schedules are based on the opponent's record from a year ago, right? That doesn't take into factor, who's coming back and all the other the X factors, how many players you have returning. It's just purely, data driven, okay? The 5 toughest schedules for this upcoming year. At number 5 from the CIAA would be Fayetteville State. Their opponent's strength of schedule had a winning percentage of 50.9%. Number 4 from the SIC, Lane College, 52.7%. Number 3 out of the SIC, Tuskegee, 53.3%. Number 2, also from the SIC, Clark Atlanta, 54%. And the toughest schedule in Division II football from the SIC, Savannah State. Opponents last year won 65 games, 65 wins, 51 losses. That's a 56% win percentage. Now, let me go quickly, Drew, and we'll show the top 10 here in a second in its entirety. But I'm going to go to the easiest or weakest schedules. Easiest schedules. At number 5, Winston-Salem State. 41% win percentage from their opponents from last year. Number 4, Morehouse College. Ooh. Morehouse, Drew, 39.8%. Interesting. I feel like, who said Morehouse would be a sleeper this year? Anyway, number 3, Miles College. Opponents had a 38.3% win percentage a year ago. Number 2, this is what you don't want to hear if you're in the CIAA. Virginia Union, 38.2% from a year ago. And might be why a lot of people are high on it. Well, no, they aren't, because they weren't predicted as high as I thought they could have been or should have been. But the easiest schedule, according to the strength of schedule numbers from a year ago, opponent's record from a year ago, Kentucky State Thoroughbreds, 38% from a year ago. Yikes. There's the graphics. Instant reaction, Drew. Hardest schedule. Let's start there. What do you say? Thoughts? I don't think there's any real contender. There weren't any preseason predicted contenders top 4. Tuskegee was in there. A lot of people's top 4, weren't they?
Tuskegee, Edward Waters, Benedict were some of the top teams. And I'll say this, Brian, I'm looking at this. This is the first time I've really looked at this.
Mm-hmm.
And this is a point of personal privilege that I'm going to take here. Five of the teams on the top 10 hardest schedule are on our schedule at Morehouse.
Wait a minute, say that again?
5 of the top 10 teams on this list on the left are on our schedule at Morehouse. We have Savannah State, we have Clark Atlanta, we have Tuskegee, we have Lane, and we have Edward Waters on our schedule.
Well, okay. Morehouse must not be the reason then that their schedule is considered hard then.
No, considering we had a 300 last year. I just found that interesting.
But hold on, the way you frame that though, that says that's kind of that's hard to really juxtapose because you're looking at it from the wrong.
No,
angle.
I'm gonna get to the other point, but I'll just say it's just interesting that of the teams that's on here, we just happen to face 5 of those opponents this year. What it's saying, if you look at it by the numbers, the fact that the SIAC has 7 of the top 10 toughest schedules, that could mean parity in the SIAC. Because these teams obviously will be playing each other, Brian.
Mm-hmm.
And
on the flip side of that, Drew, it could mean a team like Kentucky State could they run the table in the SIAC again?
Kentucky State
Morehouse 9 wins.
Kentucky State Morehouse, last game of the year of the regular season.
That's good for Kentucky State, I guess. Maybe. No?
Maybe not. Maybe good for Morehouse because it's fourth easiest schedule.
So that Kentucky State's got to be your hardest opponent. If you're looking at this from a year ago, Kentucky State has got to be one of the hardest opponents that you have on the schedule. I'm just guessing.
Yes, because we did not face Benedict. We do not face Benedict.
Mm-hmm.
And we do not face Albany State. So, yes, Kentucky State would be based on last year, Kentucky State would be the toughest opponent based on last year's results.
And they're just one opponent. Let's see. Savannah State has a new coach, I believe, don't they?
Savannah State, new coach. Clark Atlanta, new coach.
Lane has a new coach.
Lane, new coach. Edward Waters, second-year coach.
Mm-hmm.
Tuskegee, coach on the hot seat.
Yeah.
Albany State, new coach.
New coach, yeah.
So, way to welcome your coach in, everybody. I believe Bowie State has a new coach also.
Yeah, so that's 5.
7?
5. If you count second year, that's 7. That's 5 first-year coaches in the top 10. And 7 if you add first or second year.
Yes.
Yeah, that's tough.
Way to get baptized by fire.
Yeah. But it does give me, when you think about Kentucky State and you say, hey, Kentucky State, why should Kentucky State be a favorite to get to the SIC championship game? This would be why.
Virginia Union, like you said, they
water's wet. Virginia Union, tough.
Yeah,
there you go.
Yeah, Winston-Salem, the Fighting Sea Gators. That's interesting.
Yeah, that's very interesting.
First year coach though.
Yeah, but it's somebody that. Okay, so of all of the easiest schedules, besides Kentucky State, Union, Winston-Salem State, I'm going to include Morehouse in there because, as I said, when you have the most first and second teamers of anybody in the conference, and then you have a schedule like this, you just need to see that the coaching gets the talent to do what it's supposed to do.
Right.
I mean, this is 8 wins will be the most wins in Morehouse history since.
Don't even give me the line, Brian.
I
I don't have my media guide in front of me.
I thought I could throw something at you and see how quickly you responded to it, but okay.
Probably since 1991. That's the answer to everything in football right now.
What happened in 91 again?
That's the last time they won a conference championship, and it was a shared one.
I'm gonna make a prediction. You know how I've already stepped out there a little bit about Morehouse, Drew. So hopefully I'm not. I hope it's not a jinx or a kiss of death. I think Morehouse will be one of the 4 teams in the hunt, and if not playing for a conference title, to be in that 3rd and 4th place game situation where they're actually playing for a playoff spot.
Mm-hmm. Go ahead. Keep going.
No, I'm just saying. And this isn't me. This is me looking at facts, looking at the schedule, looking at the talent coming back, and the coach. You do have a coach that's a proven winner, so he's no stranger to winning. And I think whenever you have those, it's a perfect combination for a team to be in the upper tier come November. First week in November, Morehouse is in play for something. There's my bold prediction.
I sure hope so. Let me give you another one.
Mm-hmm.
Elizabeth City made strides last year.
Yes.
They're finishing forever for Elizabeth City State. Is this a recipe for them to continue that level of improvement?
Possibly. I know there have been a couple other people that I think didn't we have Chris Ferguson? He was high on Elizabeth City State. I mean, as high as you could be, right? Upper half of the conference.
So, Lincoln of PA. Interesting with that one. You know who one of the teams on their schedule is, Brian?
No, I don't.
Valley.
Oh, do you think?
In Chicago.
Wait a minute. Say what? Oh,
in Chicago.
Okay. Are you saying that there's a possibility of a potential?
I don't know, but it's part of that 439 win percentage. The fact that they play in Valley.
Oh, well, yeah. Okay. Good point. We will take a look at the Division I, the FCS schools next week. And we'll also do our season win total predictions too. I know a lot of you guys are eager to see that one. Season win totals in the FCS. I didn't want to do season win totals for this level. I thought about it, but I didn't have the,
Oh, can we go back to? Oh no, wrong. I'm in the wrong conference.
What you want? What?
I was talking about predicted order of finish, and I pulled up the MEAC and the SWAC when I forgot I pulled up the wrong conference. I just realized it.
Oh. That's all good. It's all good. Okay. There was one other story that I wanted to hit on, Drew. Is there one more story that you wanted to hit on before we close out of the show?
Maybe look at our cheat sheet.
See where you go. See where you go versus where I go. Final story for the night.
This one is kind of a by the way one. Former NBA guard and Mississippi native Monte Ellis has joined Alcorn State as the general manager of its basketball program. Ellis had a 12-year NBA career where he scored almost 15,000 career points. And his job at Alcorn will include items such as player evaluation, recruiting strategy, transfer portal decisions, NIL, alumni and donor relations, and player mentorship. So, another former professional athlete giving their services to one of our HBCUs. What does this mean for Alcorn State, Brian?
Well, okay, let me back up. What was Monte Ellis's claim to fame?
Now you got me thinking.
That's exactly why I did that. He played 12 seasons in the league.
Mm-hmm.
Scored just under 15,000 points. So
I already said that.
14,800. Oh, you did? Okay.
I already said
that. You know what? You repeat a lot of stuff that I say. I don't. But anyway, but the fact, I'm just saying, what is Monte Ellis's claim to fame? What do you most associate him with? Now, the sad part is I'm asking you a question that I don't know, so don't ask me. I'm just seeing if you know. Anybody in the chat have a Monte Ellis? Exactly, Edwin.
Let's see. Monte Ellis came in with
Google.
Golden State, played 6 seasons with Golden State, 6.5 seasons with Golden State, traded to Milwaukee for 1.5 years. 2 seasons with Dallas, and finished up his career in your state of Indiana, Brian.
With who?
So the Pacers. Last 2 seasons were with the Pacers.
Really?
When did Dallas win the?
What year was that?
15-16 and 16-17. Average 13.8 in 15-16, average 8.5 in 16-17. What year did Dallas win the championship?
2010, because that was the first year of the LeBron. That was the Heatles. That was year one of the Heatles.
This was after that, then, when he was in Dallas.
Yeah.
He was still in Golden State.
Coach Green said being drafted out of high school. See, I wouldn't have guessed that.
Yeah. His career high, he averaged 25.5 points for Golden State in the 09-10 season. Won the Most Improved Player award in 06-07. Wasn't Don Nelson, the late Don Nelson, now wasn't that his coach? Monte Ellis? I think there's the tie for you said Golden State. Starting 05, I think Nelson was gone by then.
He was gone by then?
Yes.
Oh. All right. I see a lot of you saying most improved player. I do remember him being instant offense. What was his highest average season? Was it mid-20s?
25.5 in 09-10, and he averaged 24.1 in 10-11.
Yeah.
He averaged 20 points or more in 4 seasons.
Yeah, I'll be honest with you, Steve. I don't remember him with Indy, to be honest. Now that you say it, I do remember him wearing a Pacers jersey, but
he was coming off the bench long by that time.
Yeah. I don't, and that would have been the Paul. Was that still the Paul George years?
He started 33 games his last season, Brian. He actually started 81 games the year before his first year in Indiana.
Did he really?
Yes.
I got to go back and look and see who was on his team that year. Because I'm trying to remember that might have been the Oladipo and Paul George period. So it's
Paul George, George Hill, Jordan Hill, Ty Lawson, Glenn Robinson III was on that team.
Well, we had some ballers. We had some players. Yeah, Paul George was very young in his career. We had the point guard. So Ellis was the 2 guard.
That was his
George
fifth
Hill.
year. That was Paul George's 5th year.
Yeah. And I think the
Rodney Stuckey.
the injury at the Olympic thing happened when he broke his leg. That would have been the summer after that, because I think you said he only played 30 something games. I don't know. Now I got to look. The reason he started 81 might have been because of the injury to George. Anyway, why are we talking about Monte Ellis? But anyway, all right. So I think a lot of you hit on some of those interesting points. But yeah, hey, another. I guess we have to wait to see what it means. I mean, I don't want to be that guy, because I know some of you get in your feelings when I'm overly critical of things, when everything should be rah-rah HBCU, rah-rah being the first, rah-rah, y'all want that, Bryan. So I'm not going to talk negatively about Monte Ellis coming back and working with Alcorn State. So
he's a Mississippi native, so maybe he has some Mississippi ties that he can bring into Alcorn State.
There you go. So good for Monte Ellis. Congratulations, Alcorn State.
Yeah.
See?
Was that the story you were going with?
It absolutely was not.
Okay. Good. I hit one that you weren't going with.
But keeping with the theme of former NBA players doing things with and for HBCUs, the 2026 Chris Paul HBCU Classic announced where it will be playing and when they will be playing. They will be in the Care First Arena in D.C., Washington, D.C., December 4th through the 5th. Now, normally this is if I'm not mistaken, this is normally a Division II. Forgive me how this tournament normally works, but usually it's Division II. You got like 4 Division II teams, and then they kind of play a tournament, semis going into.
No, it's just been games the last couple of years.
Really?
Yeah, you play. You got 4 teams in there. You got 2, and then they flip opponents and play the other. And
they haven't been playing division. They haven't been playing Division Ones in the past, though, have they? Or maybe they did.
No, it's been 2 and 2, 1 1. 2s play 2s, 1s play 1s.
No. Well, what are you? Huh? I'm talking
Division
about.
Division 2s will play a Division 2 team. Division 1s will play a Division 1 team.
Okay, but so with just games. Okay.
Right, they're pre-scheduled. It's not tournament format. Sports showcase style.
Okay, this year is supposed to be a little different, though. I think this year, though, it does have a tournament component to it for the Division II level. All right. Anyway, so nine HBCU basketball programs are involved. You've got Winston-Salem State taking on Clark Atlanta. Virginia State taking on West Virginia State. That's an intriguing matchup. West Virginia State always puts up points. Like they score it. Like they put up a lot of points. So that should be interesting. So that's the Friday night for those 2 games. The winners and the losers from those games play each other on the next day. Okay. That's how that works. So those 4 Division II teams, they get 2 games. Winners from day 1 play on day 2. Losers from day 1 play on day 2. Then there is the Division I element.
Can I stop on that D2?
Sure. Yeah.
I hope we don't have any conference matchups in these games.
Well, the only potential could be if Winston-Salem and Virginia State win. But they won't be a conference game, though, Drew, so it's a non-conference conference game.
Right, but you still, especially if they already got to play each other twice based on the conference schedule.
which has expanded in the CIAA.
Actually, CIAA, I think is playing. Everybody's playing twice, I think.
24 games.
Yes.
Yeah. That'll be fun. So this will
22.
be.
It's 22 CIAA. It's 24 SIAC. Because it's 12 teams.
Oh,
It's 12
yeah.
teams.
Okay. Thank you. Okay. So, yeah, you might potentially have a CIAA versus CIAA.
Everybody play everybody twice, so that'll be the third. And then knowing our luck, they'll face up for the fourth time in the tournament.
Right. What you will not have though is on the Division I side. That won't happen on the Division I side because you have schools. You have Hampton from the CAA taking on Florida A&M. Coach Charlie Ward and the Rattlers will be playing, representing the SWAC. Then you have Grambling State, led by former Florida A&M coach Pat Crary, taking on Tennessee State under what's Tennessee State's coach? Nolan Smith.
Yes.
Smith, yeah, who made the tournament a year ago, right? So that's a good D1 matchup. Hampton, FAMU, Grambling State, Tennessee State. Then on Saturday, you'll have FAMU taking on Tennessee State. That'll be a fun matchup. And then you get a Hampton versus Howard matchup. So Howard will come in and replace Grambling State on Saturday. That's kind of interesting that Grambling's only in for one night.
They probably only have one game on their schedule available.
And Howard will come in to take on Hampton. So you get the battle of the real HU, the basketball version, that'll happen on Saturday night. What year is this for this event? I thought somebody said 9.
4, 5?
No?
I don't think it's been that long. I don't think it's been that long. Because the first one was in like Vegas, if I remember right.
Yeah, Winston-Salem State, Virginia Union played in 23.
Steve says VU won the inaugural one in 22. So,
all right. Well, I may actually make plans to attend this one, December 4th and 5th. I don't know.
So, I mean, fam, you're not going to be in the SWAC championship game, so you might as well go, Bryan.
I'm free, right?
You free.
Exactly.
You
I'm
won't
free.
be calling the game that weekend.
You're right. You're right. I am free that weekend. Good point. Good point, Drew. Way to catch that. So yes. That. Damn it. It's a low shot. But yeah, no. I mean, shout out to Chris Paul, and we'll see what the retirement and the post NBA career for Chris Paul and what this event does. I do think it's pretty nice that you've got some name brand coaches. I think you got Nolan Smith, you got Charlie Ward, you're going to have Coach Blakeney there. So I think you got.
And it's in DC, so.
And it's in DC, which means that place should be packed. It'll be packed because all those schools draw well in the DC and the DMV area. Hampton, Howard, FAMU, Tennessee State. I think that's a great venue for that. Where has it been in previous years?
Last year it was at the Gateway.
Oh, that's right. It's been in Atlanta.
Yeah. Then before, I know when it was in Vegas, they played at one of the smaller basketball venues out there in Vegas. I'm trying to
Jay
remember.
Butler is a DC native. Okay, didn't know that. So again, all the more reason this will be a good one.
What happened to the Michael B. Jordan Classic?
Oh yeah, he's still doing that?
No, he didn't do it last year.
Oh, too busy making movies, huh? Okay, I mean, it is what it is. I mean, either you can or you can't. But all right. Yeah, oh, okay. So Ram Nation gonna be in the house. Okay. Now, how will they do will they do this after? Will they do an afternoon and an evening session? Is that usually how that work?
That's how they did it last year because we were
Yeah.
a participant last year. The D2s played in the morning session and the D1s played in the evening session.
Why do you think they moved out of Atlanta?
They've moved around. They haven't played two years in the same city since they've had
Really?
it. Yes, it's moving
Oh,
around.
all right. Interesting. All right. Well, look. I
Because
have
the
to
first couple of years, I think it followed Chris Paul. I think they played in Phoenix one year when Chris Paul was playing for Phoenix. They played in Vegas. I can't remember the other city, and I know they've played in Atlanta. So maybe they played in Virginia. I'm not 100% sure.
Okay, they're at the Basketball Hall of Fame, and this is not part of the NBA
All right,
All-Star
thank you,
Weekend.
Steve. It was two separate events.
Okay. So now they've combined it. That makes sense. All right, thank you. See, that tells you a couple things. The fact that we know we're two basketball guys, we have paid attention to this on the peripherals. Probably because our schools Morehouse haven't been a part of this thing, have they, Drew?
We were part of it last year in Atlanta.
Okay. You can tell which two of us have been paying attention to this thing and which
Lost
two of us
the
have
game.
not.
Lost one game in overtime. Lost another game in double overtime.
Okay. All right. Well.
And then we went on a 10-game winning streak.
All right. Despite Chris Paul and I being born on the same day, I have paid very little attention to this game. So, but now that FAMU's in it, it's legit now. It's legitimized. There it is. We put the rubber stamp on it. Charlie Ward's in the building, and he'll be. Thank you, Drew. Thank you. All right. Come on now. Stop it. Get out of there. Get out of there. All right. Any final words? Anything else to be petty about? I don't have to be petty about the real HU, do I?
No.
We personally talked about how I feel about that game.
Just one other thing. Pay attention to the city of Atlanta, everybody. 8 out of 10 weeks in the city of Atlanta, you'll be able to catch HBCU football. Starting with the MEAC SWAC Challenge, followed by the Big Cat Classic, featuring Atlanta and Clark Atlanta. Morehouse and Clark Atlanta. Then the following weekend, both Morehouse and Clark Atlanta have home games, followed by a home game with Clark Atlanta, followed by another home game for Morehouse and Clark Atlanta. My point is, Atlanta is the center of the HBCU and band universe this year. As John says, the season starts here and ends here. And for Atlanta in 2026, the season stays here. Steve, waiting on that article to come out about that.
Keep waiting. See, somebody pays attention. Adam Spencer, there you go. Somebody, I love it. See, I had to give Howard back that H, man, because Hampton pooped on themselves last year, but it's all right though. One year does not make an end to a streak. It just means it's a speed bump on the road to success.
Oh yeah, A&T and Georgia State on 9-4. I forgot about that one. And Sly, I would not justify what you said with the comment.
Slide Slide, did you hear my comments regarding Howard look, what's going on? But look, I love the fact that we can't get the CIAA and the SIAC to formally recognize a battle between. But I think we've got beef happening there, but in the CIAA and SIAC streets. Sly has been, blaspheming the CIAA, and what's funny about that is it'll get settled on the field, obviously, because how many times? What is it like in the first week or two? Aren't there like 5 games between the CIAA and the SIAC?
I think it's 4 this year.
Ferguson has called for a sweep, if I recall.
By the SIAC?
No, by the CIAA. Of course, like I said, Sly called them cupcakes or something. I don't know, man. It's just been slanderous. It's just been like, wow, really? And so I can't wait to watch how that gets addressed in about 2 to 3 weeks after they actually play on the field. In week 1, Steve, week 1 of the college football season for Division II, week 1, not week 0 or week 0 and a half, not half, week 1. Yes, 4 games. So anyway, I did want to respond to Lennon. Lennon, appreciate you coming in. You came in a little late, but we did spend some time. Just rewind, go back and watch. We did end up talking about
segment 2.
Sonya Steele's top of hour 2. Top of hour 2. We talked about it. Yeah. And we did a poll too. The poll again. The poll was, what should be the biggest priority over the next 5 years? Should it be adding 2 football schools or adding 2 baseball schools? 82% voted football. Drew says baseball. So there you go. There you go. All right, Drew, we got to pick this show up and get out of here. We got the season finale of House of Dragons coming on tonight. And then next Sunday, the debut of The Lanterns on HBO. So I'm excited. I'm in my super geek nerd mode. And did you go see Spider-Man yet, Drew? Have you seen Spider-Man? It's worth it. It's worth it.
I believe you.
It's worth it.
When I find 2.5 hours to give
to the movies.
to the movies.
I will say this though: if you jump on Twitter, somebody has been posting. I've been seeing the actual full-length movie on Twitter, and I just kind of scanned it and looked at it. It's the actual movie. It really is. So I mean, it's like a.
Is it like the old days when they used to take the camera in there?
Somebody who got the digital copy, or somebody who got somebody got a digital copy and they uploaded it to Twitter.
So it's not the old bootleg days.
No, it is not a bootleg. It's a pretty good quality, digital version of it. So it's just a movie. So you don't have to worry about trying to download it. You don't have to click a link. It just
maybe I cast it to my TV.
You probably could, I guess. I don't know, but it's worth the movie. It's it's a good movie. It's got me excited for Avengers, which will come out in replay probably in November. And then, of course, Doomsday comes out at the end of the year in December. So the countdown is on, man. I'm excited. So, but okay. What is that? SG, what's with
you have to read the comment above that, Mariah, and I refuse to put that up.
Oh, wow. Well, it's in the chat, so there it is.
It's in the chat, but I refuse to put it up.
Well, what did Sly say? Sly said cupcake. 1 minute. Is CI Sly's in there? Sly, go ahead. What did you say about the CIW? You called them Cupcake Intercollegiate Athletic Association or something like that. I don't know, or something. I know Cupcake was on there, and I was like, oh, it's like, really? Like that, huh? So at least we've got the shows, the SIC sit down and the What is the name of the what is the show that I already forgot? What is the name of the show that Chris and Steve do that's dedicated to the CIAA? Yeah, there you go. The Cupcake Intercollegiate. Okay.
The Athletic Association. I'm
All
gonna let
right.
y'all two fight that out in the chat.
Exactly. We got to get ready to go because I got to get my popcorn ready for the season finale of House of Dragons here in like 5 minutes. But want to thank everybody for watching the show, being a part of the chat. Go back and watch the show if you want on YouTube. Hit the thumbs up and the like button if you're watching us on Facebook or on YouTube. Down at the bottom of the screen, you see how you can join, be a part of following the Black College Sports Network. You can also donate via Cash App, or you can join the JBN channel on YouTube, and you can always make a monthly subscription there as well. We certainly appreciate each and every one of you, and want to encourage you to go check out the BCSN Pod Zone everywhere that you listen to podcasts: Spotify, Amazon Music, iHeartRadio, Apple, Google Podcasts. Want to give a shout out to all the teachers in the state of Florida who are going back to school tomorrow. I know Georgia started last week. Florida starts this week.
I think Alabama starts this week also.
Shout out to the Alabama teachers, man. God bless all the teachers going back to school, getting them kids ready. I know in my home state of Indiana, they started I think a week before Georgia. Jesus. But anyway, so watch out on the roads. Have a little time your travels because the roads are about to get hectic. And please don't zoom by the buses.
Yellow lights mean stop. Slow down.
Slow down. Doesn't mean speed up. Yes.
No, that
yellow
means stop.
light means slow down.
Don't try to beat it like a yellow light at that four-way stop.
Just be late, because the worst thing will happen is if you hit a kid, and nowadays they're giving tickets. Like if you speed by a bus, they're giving tickets.
They will mail you a ticket. All those buses have cameras with them
They
now.
have cameras on them now. So protect and watch out for the kids going to school. Let's all have a good week. Pray for your kids. If they're going back to school, pray for the teachers. They need it.
And the administrators.
Okay? Just pray that everything is safe and that
the bus drivers.
And the bus drivers. Everybody gets to where they need to get to safely, and that there is some actual learning that is going on. That's going to do it for tonight's show. Thank you, everybody. For A.D. Drew. Stop it.
Go get your bag.
That's right. I need to go get my bag. When you see me on the streets, you know I got to figure out what I can get to give people. Maybe I can get like a poker chip. I need to get some poker chips and be a nice little when people I can just
put your face on the head, put petty or his tail.
I like that. Okay. So see, now I got a promotional idea. So that way when people see me, I'm just going to hand you that. And there you go. Now you know. All right. Thanks for watching, everybody. Have a great week. For A.D. Drew, I'm Brian Fulford. Peace out, everybody.
Travel light, everybody. We'll holler.
But yo, you stay on